Bree, you just said that. We already
I
started
know.
recording.
You didn't warn me.
I've
all
had
right.
like 4 hours sleep, in the past
Well,
3
Sam almost had
days.
4 hours of sleep, but somehow we've still gotten through 50 episodes of this podcast. You're listening to No Limits, a PlayStation podcast. Hello,
Chaotic
everyone.
as always. Well, what a way to kick off the 50th episode. Just chaos.
Yeah, chaos.
Incarnate.
Taylor, you gotta
Sorry,
give us a
Taylor.
countdown.
Yeah, whoops. Sorry.
He's like, you didn't know the episode started?
Hello, everyone. My name is Taylor, and I'm joined by my
Love
co-hosts, Sam and Brianna. And you're
Did you
listening
say
to
Sam's name first because
No
you're mad at me
Limits,
now?
the PlayStation podcast, episode 50. Yep, this is the 50th anniversary in weeks. Yeah, I'm going to say that. Remember, you can find the video version of this pod over on YouTube at Save the Game Media every Tuesday. Please subscribe while you're over there. If you'd rather listen to audio, we are on all your favorite podcast platforms where you find your pod. Please leave us a review. It helps us grow, and we'd love any feedback. If you want to support us and get early access to all Save the Game Media content, head over to patreon.com/SaveTheGameMedia and choose the tier that's right for you, just like our current patrons did. Bucky Blue, Amon, Fabulous Brianna, Brianna's mom, Brianna's brother, Brianna's wife, Nikolai at Night, Cypher Primus, Brendan Myers, Marcus O'Neill, Lillian, Mimi J, The Snack Network, David Hotright, Dave Hart, the Xbox Expansion Pass, and Alpaca Tom. Also, check us out on Discord and Twitter at Save Game Media. Links are all in the show notes. How are we doing, everyone?
I'm
doing
very
good.
tired.
Sam's tired.
Sam, what were you doing
Taylor's
last night?
No, I have had very little sleep over the past few days for a very specific reason.
Okay. Sorry.
No, don't apologize. It's not a bad reason. Yeah, I'm just, but I'm okay. I'm dealing with the heat wave in the UK. Well, heat wave. Ha 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 ha.
Let's Google it. How? Sam, you're relatively near London, right? Let's say that.
Not really, but contextually, there's no real difference.
Oh, it's the same thing. So. It is 27. It's about 27 Celsius, 81 degrees Fahrenheit.
That is what my laptop is monitoring currently. Yes.
81 Fahrenheit is considered a heat wave in Britain.
Yeah, for it to consistently day upon day for like a few weeks be at this temperature.
Back where I come from, about
my day.
90 degrees Fahrenheit or 39. Really, if it's 90 or over, it's about 32 C is where we consider a heat wave. Back where I grew up.
Yeah, that would be
in Utah. It's like
unprecedented
100
for us. So
yeah, Bree. Sorry, I don't live in there. All right.
Utah's a desert, so
you're a desert.
I am.
No. But in every desert, there's an oasis. I'm not referring to you.
I'm the oasis?
No, you're the desert.
And my body is the desert?
No, you're the desert. The oasis
Where's
is
this
Luna.
analogy?
The oasis is Luna.
She's very cute.
It reminds me of Uncharted 3, where Drake just keeps going and going and going. And he's like, I'm in the desert. My name's Lawrence of Arabia. And then he finds an oasis. But it's a hallucination, if I recall. Right, Sam?
it's been a long time, but
wow,
I'm pretty sure. Well, or at least like the way that he sees it is a hallucination. I'm pretty sure he actually does get into like ruins of a place, but he sees it as like this lavish thing to begin with before the facade drops away, you know?
Back when Greg Miller was reviewing Uncharted 3 and I watched the video review.
Yeah.
Just for clarity purposes, I have played Uncharted 3.
Have you played Uncharted 1, 2, or 4?
I have beat Uncharted 3. I haven't played Uncharted 4.
You haven't played Uncharted 4?
No.
You played Uncharted 2?
Yes, I beat 1, 2, and 3.
And 2 is the best, right? Of those 3.
I don't think I really have an opinion on that.
Wow. It's the objective answer.
It's just
I
correct.
liked 3. Like,
I
Yeah.
thought 3 was a good game, and Cutter should have had more of the limelight. But 2 and 4 are at the top for me.
Mhm.
okay, I was gonna say, is 4 not the best? Not the best.
Lost Legacy is pretty good too.
Lost Legacy is good, but I think 2 and 4 are in a
Yeah,
fighting
yeah.
match for the best.
Why are they fighting each other? They could just be lovers.
Because we have to fight. We can't just like things, Bree.
Oh, okay.
We have to war about it
Okay.
and make conflict where there isn't any.
I do that a lot. No, I don't. That was the complete lie.
All right, sure. We can talk.
Wait, before we go to conflict, I wanted to talk for a minute because it's episode 50.
Oh God, our voice is already cracking, guys.
No, it's not. I'm fine.
Okay.
I might cry, but I'm fine. So, guess what I did this morning while I was getting
You
ready?
went to the bathroom.
I did. That's the very first thing I do, or I will pee my pants.
Hey, I do. What's more important? This podcast or going to the bathroom? It's this podcast.
With how little water I drink, it's a surprise I even ever have to go, you know?
You eat a lot of soup. It makes sense.
I don't eat a lot of soup.
But do you
Oh.
eat soup or do you drink soup?
You eat soup.
Depends on the consistency of
If
the
there's
soup.
only broth,
I
you're drinking
suppose.
it. If there's things in the soup, you're eating soup.
Aren't you just eating the things in the soup and you're still drinking the soup?
No.
You can't chew it though.
All right, we're not doing this.
We're not doing this. So this morning, getting back on topic, I went back and watched episode 0.
Oh God, that must have been a train wreck.
It actually wasn't.
More so than it currently is. Did you see the start of this episode?
This episode's way more of a train wreck. No, I think I kind of went in with like expectations of like, oh, it'll probably be awkward. It's our first episode. Like, we don't really know each other that well. But like immediately, like the moment I started watching it, it made me just like so like cozy inside because I was like, we've been friends from the beginning. Because even at the very beginning, Taylor's like, oh, I'm here with my friends, Bree and Sam. And
I said that?
yeah, you did.
Oh God.
So
So-
facetious, you know.
So we've just been friends from the very beginning, and yeah, I'm really glad that I get a podcast with you guys,
Yeah,
and I adore
me
you
too.
guys so much.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. We're married, you know.
We are married now. Can you believe it?
Right. Sam is getting us dual citizenship.
It's true.
Just not true. No, that's not happening.
Sam, you were supposed to.
I've been busy. I'm sorry. I'll work on it.
So yeah.
It's been 50 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a trip.
Well, kind of 51.
Sure. I was using this mic. This mic is not active now on my headset. It's the
I
Elgato
was using a headset mic as well.
Wavelink is my active mic now.
Sam
Sam,
had a
what's your mic of
completely
choice?
different setup. You were in a different room as well, Taylor.
I was in a summer intern Airbnb.
Yeah.
And now I'm working as not an intern.
How's that going?
Pretty good.
Good.
Yep.
Got a
Almost
cat.
fell off a forklift. No, I'm just kidding. Sam, what kind of microphone do you have?
A Blue Yeti.
Really?
Yeah, one of
Classic.
those sort of, yeah, very classic, stereotypical ones, but it serves me well. So
I think it sounds better than a lot of Blue Yetis I've heard in the past.
I think that's just my voice, Taylor.
Oh, that's
you know.
what I was
It's
just
just
about to say.
that's the golden ingredient, you know.
Oh, wow. All right.
Oh
Right.
my god. We have to talk about Sid's voice later, talking about oh my god. Anyways.
Sam should be the next EA Sports guy.
No,
Mm,
no. There are better uses. Hey, you did a pretty good one just then, you know. Maybe you can do it.
E. It's an E.
what is happening right now?
What? What?
We're nothing if not consistent.
Sam's like, I want to be a professional podcast, and
Yeah,
I'm
Yeah,
under no
I'm-
illusions of what this is.
you know, we're one step closer to doing this full time, which is
That is true.
right. We'll be the next. Well, actually, no, I shouldn't mention.
What
this.
if we get bought by Kind of Funny? I'm manifesting.
Nah.
What
Unless
if one
they
of us
fund
works
us.
for Kind of Funny? Well, that's what being bought would mean.
No, you can be bought and dissolved.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But that's not what I meant.
Who would I want to be bought by?
OnlyFans.
Okay.
Microsoft, because they're buying everyone, right?
Hey, shout out.
Zing.
I have friends. Speaking of Microsoft, all right. I've had this dilemma for I already said it. I think probably said last week, 2 weeks if I want to get a Series X or not, in spite of my capable PC.
Don't do it.
And I've currently settled on, I'm not getting one for now. Number one, there's it's close to
Controller
$500 I could put towards Extra Life travel, which is not cheap.
I know. I'm really hoping that my other travel plans work out, so that way I'm already out and about, and it'll be it won't be that difficult to get to New York.
Okay. Number two, I need a new chair anyway. Guys, I've been podcasting on this chair I got for $10 at a surplus store in February. It wasn't the best idea. So I'm getting a proper chair.
Good for you.
Oh, and yesterday I finally upgraded my storage. So now I don't have -2 gigabytes on my boot drive every time I turn on my computer.
Nice.
Now it's 830. Well, it said it was a terabyte, but it's really 930, and the OS takes about 100. But still, I have 800 gigabytes more space to work with on my boot drive.
I think I have I think I have 3 terabytes over my 2 different kinds of storage.
So I have 3 different storages. I have M.2, which is now my boot drive. I have a SATA SSD, which is 1 terabyte. Yeah, Bree, I have 3 terabytes of storage over 3 separate drives. Sam, do you podcast on laptop or PC?
Laptop.
Wow.
Yeah. Don't have a PC.
Is it a gamer laptop?
No.
Oh my
I mean,
God.
it's not like a baseline laptop either, but it's not a top end gaming laptop just because I don't need one. So
Wow.
it'd be nice to have one, but money's a thing. So
unfortunately, yeah, I've been building up. I built my PC in the winter of 2017, and I've been slowly upgrading it since then.
I think I built mine in 2019.
Ooh, and you built yours from scratch, Bree?
Mm-hmm. Well,
I had
technically my ex did.
Oh, I had a friend help me. But I feel like I know my way around.
I just hovered.
I know my way around a PC now where I could build it myself if I just start from scratch.
I could not build it myself. However, I am capable of changing the pieces. So.
Gotcha. Oh yeah, it couldn't have been more simple to put my M.2 drive in. Yeah, it's a drive that looks like a stick of gum. You know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's so much easier than putting it in SATA, having to wire around the back, get a power cable into it. You just screw it in, and bam. And so yeah, it's all prepped for the Xbox exclusives coming up, such as Starfield and
we're just
Fortnite.
switching accents at all times.
Yeah, what can I say? I'm from Boston.
Can you do a Utah accent?
What the hell? I don't know what the Utah accent is really.
Midwestern accent.
I know Midwestern. Oh, Utah's not Midwest though.
It has a Midwestern accent.
Oh, so it's how are you doing?
No, that's Minnesota.
Minnesota's Midwest.
No.
Yes, it is.
What? No, it's not.
Minnesota is in the Midwest.
States of the Midwest. Oh my God, it is. That's crazy.
It's one of the premier Midwest states in terms of stereotypes. Snowy. All the time.
So it's just you don't pronounce your T's basically.
You don't pronounce your. What if it's a TH? Do you pronounce? So if it's a T, what would my name be? Ayler?
No, you do pronounce that, but
Okay.
like kitten, mountain, stuff like that.
Oh, you say mountain.
Mountain. Don't get me. I still can't figure out why I say mirror instead of mirror.
Stop it. Sorry, I'm
But
talking to Toph.
no, you're good. But yeah, I say mirror. That's not an accent thing. That's a Brianna thing. But you know,
Cool. All right. Well, anyway, 50 episodes, guys. If not for this podcast, I think through this podcast, I've been playing my PlayStation more often. I also prefer to play my TV for now until I get a new chair at least. So I've been playing my PlayStation more often because of this pod. And speaking of, stop it. Well, I'm going to stop ranting about that. What have you guys been playing?
you know what we've been playing.
Wait, let me guess.
Halo Infinite.
Transformers Devastation. I mentioned
Layers
this game
of Fear.
because Transformers Devastation was delisted.
Oh,
Did you know that, Sam?
I feel like I heard it somewhere, but I don't like consciously remember it. So it's I feel like I've heard it by proxy.
So now I need to get the game secondhand for like $75.
Is it worth it?
No.
No, then probably.
But will I do it?
Get it?
Maybe.
No, I just or you just don't.
Then how do I play it, Sam?
Maybe you just don't play it.
Well, I'm sure it's floating around somewhere for PC.
Can we talk about what Sam played this week?
No.
I literally took a picture of this because I couldn't stop laughing about it. You'll never guess who 100%ed DC League of Super Pets and My Friend Peppa Pig.
God damn right I did. Yeah, god damn right I did.
What
you know how
was
long
this,
it took
Sam?
me? 2 hours total. Easy peasy.
Wow,
I couldn't stop laughing when I saw that.
You're inflating your trophies.
Yeah, I am. I had a bit of downtime. I was like, oh, all the new PlayStation catalog stuff.
I could play a good game.
And no, because I'm playing a good game for work, and I would kind of just like to turn my brain off and not have to think at all.
Just watch SpongeBob.
So
I want to play.
I have played.
I want to play
SpongeBob.
Bikini Bottom.
Battle for Bikini Bottom. I've already done that. So.
Oh my god.
So many
Anyways,
games.
I saw that on your platinum.
Anyway, we have all been playing. Other than those 2 excursions,
I did not play those.
Have we all been playing Final Fantasy XVI?
Yes.
Indeed.
I'm probably the farthest behind. I finished the demo, and now I'm finishing up the Iconic Challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, interesting.
That's still part of the. It's not part of the demo, but it's part of the demo application.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
so you've yet to start the full game.
Yep, it's downloading right now. It should be done by the time we finish recording.
Okay.
And
nice.
Thoughts?
It's really good. It's probably the least RPG I've played. It really feels more like an action game with RPG elements, which I'm okay with.
Yep.
And it feels like I'm playing Dragon Ball Z, but instead of Goku and Vegeta, it's Kaiju. And instead of Dragon Ball Z setting, it's Game of Thrones.
I almost just said Eorzea. It's not. That's Final Fantasy.
Rosaria.
Yeah.
Mongrel.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's sort of the main criticism I've seen. It's been really interesting watching the reviews come out.
We'll
because
talk about them later too.
For clarification, I have been playing this game for at least a couple of weeks. I can't remember the exact date I got the code. Working on it for IGN. My playtime is currently registered at 87 hours. I'm the progress tracker on PS5. I don't know what that constitutes. I don't know whether that includes like side quests and stuff. But my game percentage is sat at 76%. So I'm very much still in the midst of working on it. Hence the lack of sleep, because I've been putting up a lot of stuff at/around launch. But yeah, seeing the reviews and seeing like there's hardly anything RPG in here. and I agree with that. But then, as somebody who has never really connected with a Final Fantasy game, and likes big blockbuster, great storytelling more so than compelling, deep systems that I can sort of get really confused by easily.
That's me too.
Final Fantasy XVI is remarkable. I think I understand why some people who maybe are really big Final Fantasy fans might not love it as much as other installments, because it is a very big shift from previous entries. But for what I love from games, I've said it to Bree privately a couple of times. I do have to see how the story concludes. Obviously, I'm not there yet, but I'm pretty confident saying this is one of, in contention for, my favorite game of all time.
Oh my god.
And I feel like that's overselling it, but at the same time, it's not, because I just think that the production value across the board
It's
is
sky high.
absurd. Like,
Yeah.
par, if not exceeding some of the other Sony first party stuff. It's excellent. The combat is very compelling. It gets deeper and deeper the more you get into it. And as someone who has, again, got quite far into the game, Taylor, if you're impressed by like the demo stuff, you have seen absolutely nothing yet.
Oh yeah, I'm hype. And this game, it was so. What, Bree? Actually, go to Bree.
What? No, you can go ahead.
All right. The demo was, there was more. It's hard to believe there was a game more built for me than what Final Fantasy XVI is doing, at least from the demo. Action-based combat, fantastic music, storytelling, presentation. I don't mind the cutscenes at all. I really don't. And the scale of this game and what you can control as the player, it is far and above anything. You're controlling kaiju. You're effectively controlling kaiju. The icon are really huge titans, kaiju, whatever you want to say, that are just...
They're iconic.
They're iconic. It is so grand, I guess. It is so grand and a huge bombastic experience that I have frankly never seen. I've never seen a game get this. I don't know if the word is get this big. I don't think I've ever seen a game this.
It's what we remember
at this scale.
The old God of War games feeling like when they did scale. Yeah. And sort of these epic fights against giant size things. Right. It's what we think of.
And they're not bad, so calm down, listeners. Yeah. But it's really good. I'm excited to bring my save into the main game. And this has inspired me to, like, I don't know. I had a thought this morning where I'm like, what if I go try OG Final Fantasy VII just for the hell of it? Final Fantasy 16 is getting me hyped. I feel like I was gatekeeping myself from the series because, I don't know, I'm like, turn-based, maybe it's not for me, but I don't know. I'm playing the game with the Final Fantasy label on it, and I'm having a hell of a time. Maybe I'll try more of their traditional ones down the line.
You guys should try 14, so I have people to play with.
I don't know.
Please.
Oh, also, I said it once, to say it again. The music, just from the demo, oh man.
Yeah.
It is nuts. I want to see that orchestra in person. I'll say that at Bree. She's a fan of game concerts, and
I'm going. I'm listening to it live tomorrow.
Wait, what?
What?
It's coming. Wait, the orchestra's already live?
No, well, it's not technically like a Final Fantasy orchestra. It's the Game Awards orchestra.
They're playing the 16 soundtrack?
Mm-hmm.
Or at least some tracks.
Some of it.
Are they touring?
Nope, it's a one-time concert.
Oh, man.
10-year anniversary Game Awards concert.
10 years? Oy.
Yeah, we have a story about it in the doc. But
Right.
yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, yeah. Are you guys playing with English voices? Japanese? I'm curious.
English.
I switched. Started in Japanese, and I was really enjoying it. And then I noticed that like the like lip movements weren't matching to Japanese at all, like
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah, I
And so
noticed the lip syncing
switched.
is to English.
Yeah, so I switched to English because that was kind of bugging me. But now, like this is like I feel like this game has some of the best voice acting and the worst voice acting I've ever heard in my life.
That's hilarious,
All in
really.
the same game, like because the mob sounds in English sound so cheesy. They're like, "Oh yeah, oh and I was like, "Okay, stop making noise." I swear to God, it was driving me crazy. But like the actual voice acting from the main characters is so good. It's very jarring. But the Japanese voice actors were also good, but also like Sid's voice in English is like kind of keeping me.
Unbeatable.
Oh my God.
Mm.
I don't even know who that is. I'm looking at it.
Oh, a question also for you both. Something I will say that's a minor nitpick is it seems like in combat, I'm not, just from the demo, including the iconic challenge I'm doing right now, I'm not able to rack up any like DMC-esque combo counters. I mean, I don't expect it to get that high, but are there opportunities as the game progresses to be able to string together like 12, like 8 to 12 hits that the game recognizes as one combo?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank God.
It is very dependent on the player to do that. It's not sort of like
Okay, there's not a skill. It's really like it's not like a skill you unlock. It's really you mastering
you
the
have
mechanics.
to. I mean, obviously, as you've played some of the iconic challenge, right?
Yeah, I'm about, I don't know, I played like 30 minutes, 25 minutes of it.
So obviously in the iconic challenge, for those that aren't aware, you gain access without spoilers throughout the game to the abilities of other icons.
Mhm.
And you see some of that in the iconic challenge demo thing. And as you flesh out each of those ability sets, you can sort of experiment more and more, and you can try out different things that will work better and some will work less well, but there are definitely, to your question, strings of these abilities that work very, very, very well in concert with one another if you string them together correctly. Obviously, it's down to you to do that.
Right.
But
And are they abilities of one icon's attacks with the icon's other attack? Like usually icons have two, or I guess three main attacks, but when it comes to the meter, I'm not sure what the name is. I forget. Your R1 and R2 icon abilities. You're referring
yeah,
to those, or you're saying you can string together icon attacks between icons?
both.
Using one, hitting triangle, using another from a different icon, and both. Okay.
Both. So there are definitely combinations of abilities within the same icon set that work well. Not necessarily, again, that's kind of one of the ones that don't work as great together, but they have synergies because they're using like the same element, like Phoenix is all about the fire and stuff. So both of those abilities have fire, damage. But you can switch from, in the iconic challenge, for example, you can switch from Rising Flames Phoenix, which is the one where he sort of whips the wing up and can sort of launch smaller enemies into the air. You can then combo that into Garuda's Gouge, which is where you use like the massive claws to just swipe. You can use that in midair. So if you use Rising Flames, whip a smaller enemy into the air, then Phoenix shift with on circle up to the enemy, and then switch to Garuda Gouge, and then do one of the basic attacks that you can unlock, which is like a downward slash in midair with your sword. If you combo that together and then charge your sword with fire whilst you're doing that, you get the idea.
Cool.
This combat system is cool.
Awesome.
And it gets even more ridiculous as time goes on, I can assure you.
I think my favorite feature right now is like the lore stuff that they do. Like
100%.
I literally
I have so many questions for the lore and the story.
I cannot like I hope that this is a standard for games period moving
Regardless
forward.
of genre, just across the
Like
board.
yeah, well I mean I guess if it's a really simple story maybe not,
Sure.
but like for these bigger games, like I really wish that this was a consistent thing because how many times have you had to like pause a game and like look something up because you're like, wait, I can't even remember what they're talking
And
about.
I really love that you can hold touchpad and it
Mhm.
shows if you have I do this all the time. I have questions about, especially at the beginning of a game, learning the characters. It contextualizes whatever characters are in a cutscene, and you hold touchpad to get to I forget what it's called. Basically, I'll call it the lore screen for a second.
Active time lore,
Yeah. Sorry, the active time lore.
Yeah.
Yeah. It shows you the active part of it is it gives you explanations for the people and settings that are directly relevant to just before you access active time lore. So if you're in a cutscene with person ABC and location 1, it'll show you extra information about person ABC and location 1. If you move and a couple hours later you're at location 2 with persons DEF and you go to active time lore, it'll show you strictly what's about persons DEF and location 2. So
it shifts as the cutscene changes as well. Like it's active
So
with the cutscene.
Oh right.
Yeah,
Okay.
so if a specific event or thing is raised in conversation, it doesn't have to be shown on screen, but if the words are mentioned in passing,
it's very much
hit and it will tell you.
Yeah, it's very much like I don't know if you guys have like ever watched shows on like Amazon Prime, but when you pause a show on Amazon Prime, it'll show you like what actors are in the scene and stuff like that. It's like that on crack. It's so beautiful and
it's different, to just like a codex that other games might have, right? Because I think that is more disruptive to the pacing of any given scene. And also you have then that concern of like, well, if I hit pause during this cutscene, is it going to skip the cutscene? You know, but this is so ingrained into just the mechanics of the game, how it works, where you can just, again, like hit the touchpad and quickly read a very concise mini paragraph about a given thing or given things, I should say, and then dip straight back into the cutscene. Like I think it's a conjunction of the fact that it's not bringing you that far out of being in the moment, along with the fact of how well written those descriptive things are, that you get all the answers you might be looking for in any given moment from that screen. And it like you say, it updates within a cutscene itself. Obviously, it is a consistent feature throughout the entirety of the game. So late game, they can reference back to an early event, and you're like, I can't remember exactly where timeline-wise that's synced up. So you can do that, and it's just...
It's
can't
amazing.
believe nobody's ever thought of it before.
I know. I hope whoever thought of this, like, I hope that they're rich. I hope their pillow's always cool. Like, I hope they have the best life ever. Because, damn, what a feature. It's so amazing. Also, I looked up who the voice actor is. His name's Ralph Ineson. I don't know how to say his last name. I'm so sorry. But he was in Ready Player One as Rick, and that's where I would have known him from. But
as Rick
Grimes. His most well-known roles are The Witch. He was William. He was Green Knight in The Green Knight. He was posse leader in The Ballad of Buster Scruggs. Not that I know what that even is.
Oh.
And he was a Ravager pilot in Guardians of the Galaxy. Those are his most well-known roles.
Ballad of Buster Scruggs is a Netflix exclusive Coen Brothers film that's pretty offbeat with, I believe, Sam Nelson as the lead. Yeah, that is an interesting one. But
okay, well, freaking love Final Fantasy so much, but we gotta get to this ranting because I know all of us are probably gonna rant.
No, I'm gonna play better Final Fantasy games. Or I'm gonna try one of them, right? And I think I'm gonna try OG7.
14. Oh,
I don't like multiplayer.
But if you like the combat system from 16, you should try 7 Remake.
I know I like 7 Remake, but now I'm
Okay.
grown up.
Now I'm a big boy.
And I feel like I'm semi-serious saying this. I feel like I can trust myself. I always doubted myself navigating a JRPG that I just wasn't smart enough to do it. But now I'm like fully confident. Sorry, turn-based JRPG. And now I'm fully confident. I'm like, if I try it and really try it, I'll be able to get the hang of it. And then I can determine if I like it or not, rather than shutting it down immediately after turn-based combat. Ew, next. And also reapproaching those old JRPGs, especially 2D ones or primitive 3D ones like Final Fantasy VII, the original, to try to use my imagination to what the events are actually looking like, as if it were Final Fantasy XVI at scale, right? So I don't know. That's how I'm trying to approach going back to older JRPGs. I really want to give one last shot at trying to get into them before I write them off as a genre that really isn't for me. So I'm going to try it eventually, soon, eventually, maybe, will. But of course, I also have Metal Gear Solid this fall to get into, which I've never played before. And I'll be getting a Master Collection on that. So that's not JRPGs, but it's a coveted Japanese franchise that I still never played, other than 5. But yeah.
Sure.
But anyway, enough me ranting about things that I probably won't do that I hyper-focus on, because I may or may not have an undiagnosed something to do with attention. But anyway,
Hey.
I don't know. I did a lot of talking. Who wants to talk about the other mess that besides us?
Can I be so honest right now? I think Sam is the one that has been keeping track of this the most. And this is all, as
Sam,
I have listed,
Sam, we don't
what
have
a
to read
mess.
we do not have to read all of these. We can just pick one.
No, I'm not going to read any of them.
Okay, just
because we don't need to.
We don't need to. Yeah.
We don't need to hang on it. I said in our Discord that I felt like a rant was coming, and I think it is easy to, for various reasons. I'm not going to, because it's just I'm not going to give my energy to it. But we're talking about the court case currently ongoing with the FTC. Talking about the Activision-Blizzard-King acquisition from Microsoft. There's just a whole bunch of stuff going on. There's been people taking the stand. It's Phil Spencer, it's Matt Booty, it's Sarah Bond.
Jim Ryan.
Emails have come out from people from recent times, from years ago. It's a whole mess. I just think, obviously we're all sick and tired of reading about this, hearing this, having to talk about it. But I think it's just there's a weird lack of acceptance from people across the board as to what the realities are here.
Mm-hmm.
I think people are so sick and tired of talking about this topic that they are potentially willing to just sweep this under the rug and let it be over with. And I've said before on various episodes that when we talked about it, this is a very monumental thing, regardless of which way you spin it, and could have very serious ramifications on the industry. Not just because Microsoft acquires Activision-Blizzard-King, because the industry wouldn't collapse if that happened, but because of the precedent it sets in terms of if Microsoft can buy Bethesda, a massive publisher, and then Activision-Blizzard-King within a few years after that, what's to stop Embracer from coming along, or somebody else from coming along and buying Ubisoft or Take-Two, if we want to get even bigger than that? And then we start a slippery slope, and there's no way of getting out of that. Once it starts, there's no real way of preventing it from continuing to happen. The one thing that I will point out that we do have listed here as a story is Xbox or Phil Spencer saying that one of the primary reasons that they purchased Bethesda ZeniMax, if you want to be specific, is because there were discussions of Starfield being a PlayStation exclusive. And, I'm sure that is true to whatever extent. But something about that is really irked me, because I see people championing it as in like, oh yeah, we showed Sony what for. And I just don't think that that's the mindset that anybody should have, regardless of which console you tend to align yourself with. Like, the idea that it is a legitimate and worthwhile practice to buy an entire publisher, which is very different than just a single development studio. A publisher is on a fundamentally much larger scale than just a single dev. You go to that extent, and you're saying this in court, that one of the main reasons you did it was to stop your competitor getting an exclusive game that will be a third-party deal. And I'm like, is nobody noticing just the inherent hypocrisy of that?
Mm-hmm.
That, okay, so you're complaining that PlayStation do so many third-party exclusivity deals, which they are within their right to do. That has been a part of the industry since its inception. So you're complaining that they're doing that, and your way of stopping that from happening, not countering it or anything, but just outright stopping it from happening, is to just purchase the publisher, I guess, because you can.
I really doubt that was I have heavy doubts that was the primary reason they actually bought Bethesda.
I'm sure that isn't the primary reason, but even for Phil to, in court, say that is one of the primary reasons.
Under the threat of perjury, right? Under oath.
Exactly. It's like, well, obviously that must have been, and I think it's more like the sentiment behind it rather than specifically just Starfield. If we're being, clear about it, I'm sure it is meant to be taken as a Sony did Deathloop, they did Ghostwire Tokyo as timed exclusives. It seemed they were going to do the same with Starfield. So there was a precedent set that Bethesda games would have some kind of timed exclusivity, if not outright exclusivity with PlayStation. So we decided to purchase the publisher to prevent that from happening. But it's like, surely what Microsoft just did then is worse than what Sony were doing.
Mm-hmm.
Because those games would have come to Xbox because they were timed exclusives. Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo are now on Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation isn't going to get Starfield, isn't going to get, from the stuff that we've been reading, Indiana Jones. And then they're saying really nebulous stuff like, oh, I don't think we've quite confirmed what platforms things like Outer Worlds 2 and Elder Scrolls 6 are coming out on. And I just think that's the scummiest thing to do, because it's so obvious, it's so transparent. It's like, I don't think we've confirmed what consoles the Elder Scrolls 6 is coming out on. I don't think we've said anything about that yet. That's really ambiguous. I wonder why they're being so ambiguous, because then the FTC doesn't have an argument about the precedent of exclusivity after buying the publisher. Just like, oh, well, Microsoft's saying, well, it's a case-by-case basis. Is it though? Or are you just saying that so that you can get the ABK deal through?
I also have another thing to spin here that Phil might not have been technically lying, but he might have been, I think I can say this with complete confidence. He only mentioned what his lawyers told him to say, in that is technically true, rather than what the full truth is. In my opinion, in the court of law, you can tell the truth without it being the whole story.
Oh,
if you answer a question true, right? So the thing is, I'm taking what Phil Spencer, I guess I'm playing a bit of devil's advocate here. I'm taking a lot of what Phil Spencer is saying with a massive grain of salt, because I think a lot of it was specifically curated by his lawyers for him to say. So it's hard for me to, obviously they're going to make Elder Scrolls 6 exclusive.
100%.
That's an example of the lawyer. If there's any shred of doubt, then the lawyer would say you're unsure then, right? Or if Starfield was a motivator in the publisher deal, a lawyer might have told them, Phil, for whatever reason, emphasize it in your answer. It's still technically true, but you're a little bit in the gray. So I don't think Microsoft's plans are as nefarious as what Phil's answers might make them appear to be. They're as they need to be for Microsoft's lawyers to give them the best chance of winning the case, because that's what they're being paid millions upon millions
100%.
of dollars for.
But it still is just like, because it is so transparent, it's just like,
and part of it is gutting like that. I understand.
Yeah, it's really weird to see, particularly because Xbox on all other fronts are trying so hard to say that they're so pro-consumer, and we don't want to cut out PlayStation. We'll keep COD on PlayStation for 10 years. It's like, you're being very clear about the 10 years thing there, right?
Well, and Corey said, we'll keep it on the PS5.
I'll do whatever it takes
so
to keep it on the PlayStation 5. Yeah.
Okay, that's
the other thing where you're technically telling the truth without saying anything more.
Exactly. So it's just very strange.
Also, I think they admitted multiple. There was a moment in the court case where they said we're third in the console race.
Yep.
I think they said 20-ish% of market share is what Xbox has. And I understand why they did it. Of course, if you are acquiring a big studio, you want to pitch it as you're leveling the playing field after being down on your luck as the third choice of the global consumer in video games for however many years. But it was just really odd to see a CEO just say flat out, yeah, we're not doing well. Because in all the marketing and everything, of course, I mean, it doesn't take rocket scientists to see that, things got really bad in the Xbox One era. If anyone who's tuned into games knew Xbox was really not doing well coming into this generation. But just to see the CEO say, yeah, we suck. It's sad. I mean, I personally, as a fan of games, it's kind of sad to just say, yeah, this really sucks. We're
which again is like, I don't understand how anybody can champion this kind of rhetoric as it celebrate it. That
no,
yes,
it's not
we're going to get the thing.
I don't want to see.
I'm not saying you're celebrating. I just mean there is a discourse online of being like, yeah, Xbox stuck it to the FTC, and yeah, we're going to get ABK. It's like, he's depreciating the platform that you supposedly are fanboying over. So whether he's lying or not, he's putting those words out, and he is representative of the platform that you support.
Yeah.
So it's just a baffling thing. I've said for ages that I'm just baffled by many of the decisions Microsoft are making, because they bought Bethesda, they've made all those games exclusive, seemingly, but then they also self-inflict wounds of letting Redfall come out, and that's the first game post-acquisition. So it's like Bethesda had a reputation before Xbox, and now they have a reputation after Xbox that they are now having to actively counter.
Well, I mean, it was one game, all right?
Deepen.
If Starfield really hits, I think if Starfield hits,
no, I agree, but they have dug a hole that they didn't need to dig.
Okay, I can see that.
And they have to work out of it, and they didn't necessarily need to. It's like they're stepping on rakes when they could have just avoided them entirely. It's just and also, like, the last thing I'd say is Kevin pointed out in the Discord the other day, but how one of the judge overseeing it just shut down the FTC whilst they were in the middle of a line of questioning, saying like, we don't need to hear that. And I said in the Discord, I was like, I really hope that, if nothing else, I just hope that this whole deal doesn't get resolved because the people overseeing it, the judge, etc., get bored, or that they think that they're hearing the same things over and over again. And I know that that's boiling it down to very basic things, but I just, with how monumental this is, in both positives and negatives for either side, like, this needs the kind of rigorous attention that it is continuing to get, regardless of where you stand, I'd say.
So just the headlines for everybody, just in case. The headlines here were Phil Spencer tells the judge, quote, "I'll do whatever it takes to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation 5. Microsoft has purchased Bethesda to stop Starfield from being a PlayStation exclusive. Microsoft admits Xbox has, quote, lost the console wars, end quote, as it battles for a $69 billion acquisition.
Nice.
And then Microsoft expects the next generation of consoles to come out in 2028. Those were the headlines that I pulled for this, but yeah. And then I just called the whole thing "What a Mess," because indeed, what a mess. So I don't know. I don't think I really have much to like add. You guys said it very eloquently. I would say the only thing is that like I think that not enough can be said for people just literally being goldfish. And it's like, even if Xbox throws themselves like very purposefully under the bus to be like, oh, look how weak we are, let us buy. Even if they do that, people are going to forget in like a week after this happens. Or at least I think they will. Because that's just, I don't know, living in the country of America, you learn how quickly people forget things.
Damn.
So, yeah, that's the only thing I'll add. Taylor, do you want to do the next one, or do you want me to?
Oh, you can do it.
Okay, perfect. So, 52 is the time code. Whoop. Okay, so Final Fantasy XVI review roundups are looking great and potentially overheating the PlayStation. So we've got two little links here. One is from PC Gamer. So this Final Fantasy XVI review roundup is a bold new benchmark for the series. A mixed reception to its story, but heaps of praise for the iconic boss battles. So let's see. Final Fantasy 16 is already here. It says it's almost here, but it's already here. We've got with 16, it feels like Final Fantasy is focused again from Push Square 9 out of 10. Final Fantasy 16 will very likely be looked back upon as a turning point for mainline Final Fantasy games. That's IGN 9 out of 10. Final Fantasy 16 is a bold new benchmark for the series that puts emotional complexity and courageous world building at the forefront. That's the Gamer, 9 out of 10. And then Polygon said, if every part of 16 was as good as its boss fights, this would be the greatest game of all time. One of the greatest games of all time. Games Radar, 4.5 out of 5. Not only does Final Fantasy 16 bring new ideas to the series, then it implements them in plenty of polish, with plenty of polish in a way that makes sense in the world built. And one last one here from Digital Trends. They gave it a 3 out of 5. Final Fantasy 16 delivers when it comes to spectacular action, but dated design and shallow RPG systems drag down a promising blockbuster. So overall, seems like really mixed reviews there.
It has an 89 right now on OpenCritic.
Okay.
And one of the reviewers, I think from the article, also mentioned, they said they did not like. They thought it had a poorly executed commentary on slavery. I also heard someone else say there is not representation from people of color in this game, period.
But they had already said
that is true.
Right?
That is true.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm not going to defend that. Like Yoshi P, it might not have been Yoshi P to be clear.
Whoa, calm down with the Yoshi.
Somebody,
we addressed this earlier in the year, I think.
Yeah, somebody at the top
year
said like about historical accuracy, and it's like, well, that's a bit nonsense. But yeah, it's not like it is solely white people. Like there are areas of the world that have a bit more diversity, but it's not anything that is really highlighted or even portrayed really at all, which
Right.
is
So
unfortunate. But
I just figured it was something we mentioned.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Great projects can have still things left to be desired,
Absolutely.
Mhm.
and this is one of those things.
I mean, it's a pretty big thing too. So awkward. The other piece here was Final Fantasy XVI fans are concerned that its epic boss fights are making their PlayStation 5s overheat.
My PS5 in the demo during huge icon boss fight did not overheat. I also play on frame rate mode.
I was
Yeah, me
playing
too.
on graphics mode.
What about you,
I
Sam?
think.
Yeah, I've been. If there is a performance mode in the game, I will not
Yeah.
switch from it.
Oh, also, I'm a control type B type of guy. All right, I attack with R1 and I evade with circle.
Okay, I kind of wanted to switch the controls because I keep hitting the wrong buttons.
Yeah, I'm used to Souls. So, Bree, do you know you could? Did you change it?
I
Have you
did
tried this?
know, but I usually try to get used to what the intended experience is
There is
rather
no
than
intended. It's
switching.
just type A and B
So
in the menus. Definitely try the other one because it's more Souls. Attack with R1, evade with circle. Or actually, Souls might be evade with X.
no, Souls is circle. You
That's what I
dodge with
thought.
circle.
Okay, so yeah, that's why I switched to it. Just muscle memory from third-person action games.
Yeah. We'll see. I don't think there's much to be said here, but I've not experienced it, knock on wood. It seems like there are several people that to turn their PlayStation completely off at the end of fights just to cool it back down. You know what? They should get a fan and just like put it on the PlayStation.
I just think that maybe, I mean, it's not good either way, but I think they might just have slightly defective units, because I have obviously played the game for over 85 hours, and I have had very long sessions, pretty much all day, some days consecutively, where I've just left it on running in the background. And not only has it not gotten hot, I have not heard the fans ramping up at all. So I've had like no issues whatsoever, which is unfortunate for those that are, but it's not like, it's not a lot of people could read a story like that and start panicking. It is still, from what I can tell, a very small minority of people that are experiencing the issues. Not that excuses them, but I've had no issues whatsoever. So
yeah. Okay. Well, are we ready for the next story?
Yeah. Okay, I think this one's pretty quick. Lance Reddick. You guys hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Top's paying her respects to Lance Reddick. Lance Reddick, who played the role of, oh god, this is embarrassing, guys. Is it Silence? Someone who hasn't played Horizon? Okay. Yeah. Lance Reddick, who played the role of Silence in her Horizon games, has passed away several months ago. I know, Toph. And in honor of him, Guerrilla created a memorial in, is it just Forbidden West, or is it Forbidden West and Burning Shores?
It's Burning Shores.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. It's in the title that I missed. All right. In Burning Shores, which is the DLC for Horizon Forbidden West, they created a memorial for him where they say, thank you, Lance. And they have a Twitter post dedicated to this. They say, in honor of Lance Reddick, we created a memorial to commemorate the profound impact he had on us all. Thank you, Lance, for everything you brought to the role of Silence, your gravitas, energy, wisdom, and more. An incomparable talent and friend. We miss you terribly. And his memorial is the name Lance Reddick in as a hologram type fashion in a little memorial surrounded by foliage and greenery. So in the Twitter screenshot, Aloy is sitting there and looking at it in thought. So thanks to Guerrilla for doing that. And Lance Reddick also showed up in John Wick 4. So at least he was to finished filming that movie before he left us. So it was one last glance at him on the screen. Also, more about Lance Reddick. I might have mentioned in previous episodes too, but he's fantastic in The Wire. I think that's the best acting I've seen from Lance Reddick, was in The Wire. Fantastic show, for the record, if listeners are interested. Another anti-hero show similar to, in the same vein of Sopranos, Breaking Bad. Well, I shouldn't say same vein, of that era, that string of shows. But Lance Reddick played a major role in that program, and he was great. So rest in peace, Lance.
And it's unfortunate, just in the fact that he passed, obviously, sort of really before his time, I think. But if we're talking specifically about like Horizon and stuff, even Destiny, I suppose, not that
right, Destiny he was in
Destiny at all, but I can definitely speak from the Horizon standpoint. In Forbidden West, he had a more pronounced presence than in Zero Dawn, and that was sort of continued in Burning Shores. And I think Guerrilla have been on record, but it's very clear if you play the games that he was going to have a even more major role in the inevitable Horizon 3. So it's really unfortunate that he didn't get to see that through, like you were talking about with John Wick 4. Like, he got to conclude that, but unfortunately we'll never get that with him. So it's nice that there is something, at least in Burning Shores. I fully expect that this will be replicated, hopefully, or probably on a grander scale whenever the next mainline Horizon game comes out as well. So, but as you say, rest in peace. You know, that's the main thing. Yeah.
Rest in peace, Lance.
Okay, next one.
Oh yes, it's my turn. Sorry, I'm opening the article as we speak. E3 2024 and 2025 have been cancelled, according to the Los Angeles Tourism Board. But the ESA has responded and says there is, quote, no final decision yet. At a meeting on June 21st, 2023, the Los Angeles Tourism Board of Commissioners presented a packet with updated information surrounding the tourism business in Los Angeles. On page 21, there's a chart that shows the city's convention sales for the fiscal year 2022 to 2023. Under the heading Booked Room Nights Produced, there is an asterisk that notes includes E3 cancellations for 2024 and 2025. In a statement to Axios reporter Stephen Totillo, an ESA representative said that E3 2024's fate is still to be determined. Quote, ESA is currently in conversation with ESA members and other stakeholders about E3 2024 and beyond, and no final decisions about the event have been made at this time. Obviously, 2023 E3 was cancelled earlier this year. We know that didn't happen. We've got Summer Games Fest, etc. instead. And the ESA at the time did not confirm whether the event would be returning in following years. The sooner we accept E3 is dead, the better. You know, it's unfortunate, but there isn't a place for it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Summer Games Fest. Jeff Keighley got in.
Yeah. You know, love him or hate him, he's got a chokehold on the games industry.
Chokehold on the games seasonal entertainment industry.
You know, we're getting into semantics there, Taylor. Just let me have it. You know, I was making a point, and now
Jeff Keighley is going to buy Activision.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. He's going to
Jeff Keighley's going to buy Microsoft.
Confirm. You heard it here first.
Jeff Keighley is having a child with Hideo Kojima.
Ooh.
And this is the plot for Death Stranding 3.
You know, we never really fully knew where all the BBs came from, so
I need to play Death Stranding again. Or I haven't. I need to actually play it this time.
Yeah. Such a good game. So underrated. Just such a vibey game, you know, if you get into it. It's good. It's good. I've seen people saying in terms of the E3 thing though, like obviously it's probably not coming back, but should it? Like do people want it? And I just think that other events have become so prolific
PAX West is a much
that
better
it's
alternative
like,
to E3. Hot take.
what else could
for
E3
the
provide that
common
others aren't?
player, I would
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
My question is like, how much is it really up to them if E3 comes back, right? Because
I mean, it's
the
not.
biggest problem is that all of the major companies that everybody wants to hear from pulled out. And so how much is it really the ESA's decision on whether to hold another E3? Because they say, oh yeah, we're going to do E3 2024. They start putting resources into it and then nobody shows up again.
Which is
And
exactly
then it
what they
gets
did this
canceled
last year.
again. Like,
They're like, hey, E3 is back, and we're getting people involved. And then one by one, we saw that list of partners pull out and decide they're going to do their own thing instead. So yeah,
I do think it is kind of getting a little ridiculous. Like, there are a lot of publishers and such that really don't need their own events.
oh, for sure.
But it's also, I don't know if E3 can come back. So,
Well,
I guess we'll see.
it's like that Simpsons meme. It's like, stop, he's already dead. It's like, ESA, just accept the fact that E3 is negligible at this point.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, it was great whilst it was there. I will never forget specific conferences, but that we don't live in that world anymore.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, moving on to the next one then.
Sure.
Okay. Here we go. So Insomniac Games tweeted, we're excited to debut the track title from Marvel Spider-Man 2 at the Game Awards 10-year concert at the iconic Hollywood Bowl on Sunday, June 25th. Swing by if you're in the LA area. Yeah. Just in case anybody's in the LA area.
Why would they just release it on? Wait, I need to look at this link again and read this again from Insomniac.
They to be. I think they probably will. To your question, Taylor.
Why didn't they just put it on streaming service? Okay.
I think they will. Maybe not tomorrow, but soon. I would expect to see like an official thing over all their socials, being like, "Here it is." So even if it is just a recorded version of the live performance.
So don't worry, I'll send you guys some snaps.
Yeah.
I'll send you some Snapchats. Okay, so here's the description for you guys. Special live concert event celebrates unforgettable role music, plays in video games. Lauren, I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing this wrong. Lauren Balfe leads the Hollywood Bowl Orchestra in music selections and suites from Arcane, Diablo, Elden Ring, Final Fantasy XVI, God of War, Hades, Hogwarts Legacy, League of Legends, Marvel's Spider-Man, Starfield, Star Wars Jedi, The Last of Us, and live performances by Gustavo Santaolalla and Tenacious D.
Tenacious D, Jack Black is going to be there?
Sure is.
That's hilarious. What are they playing?
Oh, guess what I'm doing tomorrow?
Well, I mean, they have that. They put out a new song all about video games. There's like their music video for it is doing all the. You're not on Twitter, but it was doing the rounds for a little bit there. So they're probably going to do that.
Did they ever clarify keeping it safe for work what the D is in Tenacious D?
I think they like it being left up to your imagination. It's whatever you want it to be, Tyler.
Okay.
What do you want it to be? Let's not go there, actually.
Doritos.
Okay.
Oh.
Tenacious Doritos.
I know what it stands for now.
Is it what I think it is, Bree?
No.
What is it?
It seems like it's defense.
That's
some Tenacious D.
Well, that's remarkably underwhelming.
Yeah.
Yeah, they borrowed the name. Yeah, okay, so the word the basketball commentator Marv Albert, impressed by a defender's skill, once uttered the soundbite, "That's some Tenacious D." The musicians Jack Black and Kyle Gass borrowed the phrase for their comedy rock band Tenacious D.
Fair play.
Okay, there you go.
That being said, I don't think that I'm not, or at least I should say I'm not expecting the title track for Spider-Man 2 to be that different to the title track of the first game, or at least it will have the same, sort of. What's the word?
Tone? Theme?
No. Yes, there is a more like
a phrase, like the music phrase.
There's a specific word for it. Like not tempo, but there's something else. Cadence, like the same sort of, tempo. We'll just go tempo. And the same sort of rises and falls and stuff. But maybe just a few sort of dark hints. Maybe it's completely different, but as somebody who loves the main theme for the first Spider-Man game, I hope it's not too different.
There you go.
Yeah, it's going to be a great time. I'm so excited. I'm driving down tomorrow. Obviously, in the past, when this goes live, I'm driving down tomorrow to LA, and then I'm going to go get Kura, which is like a revolving sushi place that they do like the conveyor belt sushi, and it's one of the chains that is in Japan as well. So I'm going to go see if it's as good. I'm sure it's not as good as the one in Japan, but I'm going to go see.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go to this concert. It starts at 8 p.m. and I'm very excited about it.
Awesome.
I got box seats.
Wow.
And it says there's going to be fireworks, which I didn't see. Not that that's a problem, but yeah. I wish you guys could come. That would be really fun. Next time.
Yeah, would be awesome.
Okay.
Cool.
Last thing, I feel like Taylor, you said you wanted to do something for episode 50. The other thing is I also added a topic for Pride Month. So those would be the last things.
Oh yeah, in the post show we could talk about 50 more. Well, I don't know. We can move Pride Month discussion to the post show or 50 thing to the post show.
Ask Sam. Sam is better at making decisions.
Sam, what do you want to do?
Well, I'm not going to be here for the post show, so whichever you'd like me to be here for.
Oh, I'd like you to be here for episode 50 stuff.
Okay. I could give you an answer for the Pride Month thing, but I'll do that at the very end before you.
All right. And we'll talk about what our favorite characters are for Pride Month in the post show.
Okay.
So episode 50. What? I don't know.
Well, that was it, huh?
That was it, guys.
Wow.
50.
I should say, Sam, have you had I think for me, it's been a very fulfilling experience over this past year. Almost a year, 52. 51 is officially the year anniversary, but still. Actually, no, it isn't, because we skipped 2 weeks for Christmas. So I think this still is like the 1 year anniversary. So I'm going to stick with that. But yeah, I don't know. Sam, how do you feel after a year of doing this? Take your answer carefully.
No, all joking aside, it's been really great. Obviously, the entire time that I've been doing this, my mind has almost always been very preoccupied with my work, just because that's the nature of who I am and the unrelenting nature of what I do. But in the brief interims I've had where I've sort of been able to reflect properly on things, I'm very grateful to be part of the team here. Obviously, to have you two to speak to every week.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Obviously, it's sort of not necessarily, as we said, become anything full-time or professional. Definitely not professional in our case. It's not been, it's not like a thing that is consuming all of our time, as much as that might be a fun thing to do one day. But I'm very content with the little thing we've got going on here. So.
Me too. Thanks, buddy. and I found both of you on Reddit. I
Mhm.
hate Reddit, but then it gave me you guys. So now I'm stuck somewhere in the gray area.
Yeah, could you imagine if you were looking for a co-host now on Reddit? You can't, because all the subreddits are fucking, they're all locked.
Right.
Why are they locked?
A lot of people left.
Yeah.
Thanks, Reddit CEO.
God damn it.
Bree.
Rest in peace. What? You want me to answer? How do I feel a year later?
Exhausted.
Exhausted. I can't believe I have to
Exasperated.
deal with you guys every week.
my
No,
mom
I
says.
can't believe we're married. I love that Sam wasn't even there when we got married.
Right. Against his will, without him present.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He loves that we're married now. And yeah, no, so I mean, I kind of talked about it on like I Hate My Friends like forever ago. Rest in peace. I talked about it in I Hate My Friends like forever ago, but like I actually like don't like if I hadn't joined Save the Game Media, like I like actually don't know like what would have happened. Just because like of the weird timing where I started hanging out with you guys and I started podcasting and stuff, and then I kind of lost like my best friend. I lost my other friend. Like, and it was just like I had like nobody to talk to. Like the person that I literally talked to every day, like literally every day for hours, like stopped talking to me. And so like I was essentially like alone, and I know I probably shouldn't have gotten myself in that kind of situation in the first place. That's a whole other discussion. But like I probably would have had no friends because I have not made any friends in California either. So I probably would have literally been like alone besides like my one best friend and then like my family. So yeah, I don't like to think about it, but I would have been
Well,
in a pretty bad place without you
glad it was
guys,
good timing.
and I appreciate it. So
Thanks. Yeah, me
glad
too.
to
It's
have
been
everybody.
a hell of a time.
Mhm.
And I've made 2 new friends, done this new hobby. It's been great so far. So to continue so indefinitely. To 50
Yay!
more.
I don't have alcohol.
And maybe by
Cheers.
episode
Nice.
100, Wolverine will have a release date for Wolverine.
Oh
Maybe.
yeah,
You know what?
100%, 100%.
You know what we said episode 0? Well, Xbox said all the games are going to come out within a year, so we should know this time whether Silk Song's coming out or not.
Oh, should we counter Silk Song, guys?
That's so risky.
It's so risky.
We're not going to counter Silk Song.
Okay.
If we get even a slight inkling, if we get an update from Team Cherry saying like
It's not coming.
things are going okay, you know, we'll have updates for you soon, then it would be like, okay, maybe. But
That
not
game
that
is
they're
going
gonna
to
shadow
score
drop
really
it or
well.
anything, but just in case, you know.
Yeah. Wait, Taylor, you kind of briefly answered, but I think I want a more in-depth answer. How do you feel a year later? You're the one that hired us.
I didn't hire you. I guess I did. That was really weird. I don't like being in that position.
I don't like hiring people either. So,
But no one's getting paid, so I guess it technically wasn't a hire. But I don't know.
some of us are paying.
Right. It was, I don't know, I feel really good about it, and I want to keep doing it. You guys are 2 really good friends that I made who we talk to almost on a daily, if not a daily basis. We talk about things that don't matter, like video games, and it's great.
And therapy.
And therapy Thursdays,
Well, therapy
not to be
Thursday.
confused with Thirsty Thursdays, unless you're attracted to your therapist. Then it's Thirsty Therapy
I'm not.
Thursdays. Anyway, I think we'll leave it there. The Thirsty Therapy Thursdays and 50 episodes of this pod.
I can't wait for you to get further into Final Fantasy. Speaking of thirsty.
Oh, is there something that I've yet to see?
Oh man.
There aren't many things you've yet to see.
There's probably things I haven't
uh-oh.
seen yet, but
Are two
man,
Icon going to go at it?
I like. Oh, maybe. I don't think
Oh.
so, but
I wouldn't want to ruin the surprise either way, Taylor. you
Oh
know?
God. I know. Mort the Chicken's going to pop out and say,
oh my
I will
god, I
say,
would
I'm
die.
so glad they're writing chocobos. I'm glad they just preserved chocobos throughout all of Final Fantasy and still have them here.
I really want to see Moogles. That's the one I'm hoping for. I'm pulling for Moogles.
What's Moogles?
You know, look up what a Moogle is.
No.
It's a Final Fantasy thing.
They're like the little flying.
Oh, that's
weird
cute. They're these
cat
little bat Olimar things.
Yeah, they got these little cute noses. They got this little like dot thing that like sticks out of their head. They're very cute. I love Moogles.
Yeah. All right.
They're usually like messengers. Okay. Well,
close it out here. Oh wait, Sam, your favorite LGBTQ plus
Yes.
characters in honor of Pride Month?
I feel like it's kind of like an easy answer to give, or like not an easy answer, but like a cop out, because it's one of the more recent ones. But I would have to say Ellie.
oh, I was not expecting that answer from you.
I was expecting that answer. I was thinking that too.
Like, I just think that she is an incredibly three-dimensional character. I prefer Last of Us Part 2 to Part 1. I think that the emotional journey that she had to go through in both games is something that has challenged me and made me think more than many other things. I think that the spoilers for Last of Us Part 2, obviously, but the dynamic between her and Dina is not only compelling, but also really heartwarming and lovely. I love that they are two very strong, clearly capable of being independent women that are, spoilers again for The Last of Us Part 2, raising a baby together. Yeah, I think she's great. I really hope we haven't seen the last of her. And then if we're talking about like transmedia stuff, like her depiction in the HBO show as well. Obviously, why can't I remember the actress's name?
Bella Ramsey.
Yes, Bella Ramsey. I had the Bella, but then I just went.
Non-binary?
My mind just went to Twilight for some reason from Bella. I was like, why am I doing that?
Oh, is Bella Ramsey non-binary?
She came out as gender fluid. If I'm right, I think I'm right. Hopefully, I'm right.
I am okay. Hold on. I'm pretty sure they're non-binary, but let me look. They identify as non-binary in the New York Times interview in January.
Okay. I think that, not that is necessarily a one-to-one to what Ellie's depiction is in the video game, but I like that there is at least something there where I wouldn't want Bella Ramsey to in any way feel uncomfortable portraying a character that maybe had an attraction to the same sex. I think that you get into a gray area there if you're having a straight actor portray a character who isn't straight. So I think that having that, not necessarily again one-to-one, but having something that is at least partially representative on both sides, both in the game and in the TV show. I think that she obviously did a great job in the first season, and I think that when they fully introduce Dina in the second season, I think that Bella is just going to kill it even more. So Ellie would be my answer.
I for sure thought you were going to say Aloy, but
see, I could say her, but I just not enough has been done with that yet.
Yeah, for sure.
We've only really sort of just started. As much as there have been sort of suggestions throughout, it's only really been as of late that has come to the forefront. So maybe Horizon 3, maybe they convince me to name her as my number one, but
yeah,
for the time being, it shall remain as Ellie.
Yeah, we also need more representation. Thank you, please.
Of course. Always room for improvement.
I think I would love to see more like trans characters, bisexual characters, stuff like that.
Shout out to Lev.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I think that's it.
We're
talking about. Well, we'll continue the discussion in the post show, which you can get for $1 on Patreon.
Right.
Or more. We do need more patrons because, again, we're trying to get Kevin's butt tattooed. So
I don't like that. That's the thing you keep bringing up.
Why else would people subscribe or follow us on Patreon?
That is a good question.
What other reasons do we have? All the great post-show content. All of
We
the
just talk
early
about
content.
tattooing Kev's butt again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Uh-huh.
See, people who aren't patrons, you're like, become a patron so that we can tattoo the butt. And then for patrons who listen to the post shows, they're like, you're saying thank you to them. You're like, thank you. Now we are one step closer to tattooing Kev's butt.
We're one person closer to getting Kevin's butt tattooed.
Yeah.
And it counts. Even if you just $1 a month, it counts towards the 1,000 people.
That it does.
Sam, I think you should sign up.
I'm not going to fuel this insane goal.
Listen, we could be 2 people closer right here.
I'm not going to contribute to it. It's no.
Okay.
I ain't about tattooing butts.
Well, happy Pride Month. Happy 50 episodes. And I hope we have many more anniversaries.
Yes, I agree. All right. Thank you all so much for listening. Again, find us YouTube, Save the Game Media, Twitter at Save Game Media, Patreon, Save the Game Media, and Discord. Links are all in the show notes. Where can people find you, Bree?
At Fabulous Brianna, FabulistBreanna.
Awesome. What about you, Sam?
People can find me on Twitter at Sam Heaney. That is Heaney.
You don't say it right.
You can find me on Discord. And you can find me on...
I live in England, where English comes from. So really...
You guys pronounce things wrong. Don't pretend.
Really, I'm an Englishman speaking English. So
how many words do you guys add R to the end
how
of?
more correct could I be, Anyway, we're throwing off the end of the show.
At least we have pizza.
We have pizza too. With dear pepperoni.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for episode 50. See you later. Bye-bye.